was once something that was going down, that wasn't vibrant, that wasn't lively, and had a vision. And instead of just having a vision and talking about it, we did something about it. And that's why you have the festival that we're at today and tomorrow and also on Sunday. This area, in terms of Paradise Valley itself, from a historic perspective, it is historic not only in terms of what Detroiters know, but the world. The 1930s, 1940s, if you wanted to swing to some jazz, the swingingest part of not only Detroit, but America was called Paradise Valley. The original Paradise Valley was a neighborhood along the old Hastings streets where African Americans lived, worked, and played. There were more than 350 black-owned businesses in the area, serving the community by day, and at night provided world-class entertainment. And when I say world-class entertainment, we're talking about names that are renowned throughout the world. The likes of Billie Holiday, Duke Ellington, Sammy Davis Jr., Josephine Baker, and many others. You name it, they played here, and it was well known. And it was also an area that people was a destination spot for folks. And so from that standpoint, we took that vision and incorporated that history. And that is basically what is culminated in what we are here for doing this weekend, but not just this weekend, but every day. Every day in regards to the fact that there are businesses here that are alive and thriving, whereas before that was not the case. Hastings Street is long on history. Now, it was buried under the I-75 freeway due to a thing that us urban developers call urban development, urban renewal, as I think it was called at that point in time. But the talent, the energy, and the spirit that made old Paradise Valley great has really never left Detroit. Matter of fact, it revived itself in many jazz artists and other entertainers who played throughout the clubs in Detroit, as well as the sounds of Motown and artists such as Aretha Franklin and others who worked for several record companies that were renowned around the world. We have found a new place to honor that legacy right here in Paradise Valley in the cultural and entertainment district in the heart of Detroit. It is already the home of the art of several businesses. And keep in mind, these are businesses that are not just open this weekend. They're open every day, and we hope that you all come and patronize those businesses. That legacy continues right now with the likes of the Arts League of Michigan, who you'll hear some of the talented young people playing today who practice and take lessons in the facility across in the Harmony Park Paradise Valley District. The Harmony Park Media Group, Velocity Cow, Hamilton Anderson, other creative organizations. Also, visitors come to enjoy such places as the Detroit Seafood Market, Colors Restaurant, Coach's Corner, Casa de la Habana Cigar Bar and Martini Bar, which a number of my friends enjoy, and I visit from time to time myself. And also we have, of course, Cafe Detroit, the Internet Cafe here, which people are talking about around the world again. So from that standpoint, again, we have taken something and brought it alive. And I think that you're going to find that your entertainment that you see and hear this weekend is only a small sampling of what's going to happen in this center, this part of Detroit, on a day-in, day-out basis. One of the things I want to do is, we had a lot of bills to pay to make this event happen. And we really appreciate the folks who stepped up and basically said, we want to be a part of this dream and a part of this vision and a part of this development. So, so from that standpoint, I want to thank our sponsors. One is part of the downtown, the Downtown Development Authority, which is a part of the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. We wanted to make sure that we also worked along and made this happen. You'll see some signage up here of someone who really came up big, an entity that really came up big. They have a lot of names, but they're a company that has made a real thrust in the city of Detroit. And that is
a company that promised us that when we started doing economic deals with them, that they would bring in 4,000 employees. Well, actually, what they're up to now is about 6,000 new employees in downtown Detroit, and that's Quicken Loans, Bedrock, Rock Ventures, and we have David Carroll here who represents it. Just stand up, David. I want to ask you to make a speech today, okay? But thank you so much. The Greek Town Casino, Marv Beatty is not here today. He said he could not make it, but Greek Town Casino, another major sponsor here. The Downtown Detroit Partnership, Dave Blaskett, Cindy Paskey, also are not here, but also our major sponsors, as well as Swanson Classic Cars. Is anyone here from Swanson Classic Cars? No? Okay. The Great Lakes Beverage was another sponsor in terms of helping this event come true, as well as Abraham Properties. Anyone here from Abraham Properties or Great Lakes? Thank you very much. Thank you. It is greatly appreciated, and again, giving back to the city, which means it adds to the quality of life of its residents and the people that visit the city and who work in this city. I can't help but also mention the folks at the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation that helped make this event, and who really were behind the scenes making sure this happened. And one person who was on top of this from day one, doing all the day-to-day stuff. I mean, just, you always got that one person that you got to say, hey, look, without her, it wouldn't have happened. And that was Sandy Smith. Sandy, please. Also, Tiffany Smith. They're not related, but they're hard-working members of our staff. We have a wonderful producer who has made a name for herself in several entertainment venues. We have not only here but Hart Plaza, Rib and Soul Festival, things of that nature, bringing that R&B and jazz to the city. And everyone loves live music. We don't have enough. We need more of it. And that is Washington Entertainment, run by Johnny Washington. This was it. I mean, he came to us and said, hey, you need a music festival. You got the businesses in, the restaurants and the bars and the businesses, the offices and things of this nature. We need to add the music to make this Paradise Valley development complete. Thank you very much, too. Thank you very much. And last but not least, my sidekick, we're Detroit guys. This is about Detroit, and it's about history, and I will have to say this, my executive vice president at the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation, there's some history there. I kept him out of trouble since 10th grade. From Detroit Cooley High School, and now he's executive vice president at Growth Corporation, and also on the authority of the Cobo Hall Authority, and also responsible for the various streetscapes and improvements that you have seen before this leading to the Super Bowl. They may not have saw his name in the paper, but again, it was Wayman Guillermo and his staff that made all that happen. And so from that standpoint, again, and it was his staff that manages all these properties and also did the beautification of that wonderful park, was Wayman and his staff, and the renovation of that that park, which is so beautiful and enjoyed by all every day. Last but not least, our public relations professional and the firm from Mort Krim, and also the guy who keeps me out of a lot of trouble, because y'all know I get out there sometime, and that's Bob Ross back here. Okay, and thank you, Bob. Thank you. And but with that, I mentioned the sponsors, I mentioned our producer, I mentioned the staff of the Downtown Partnership and Economic Development Corporation, and I mentioned the history. But there were some drivers here that, from the very beginning said, we need a place that's special in regards to the African American culture and history. And they were drivers. And if you know any of them, when they get a vision and they got something in their head, they're going to drive it. And they're going to drive it home. And you know what? It was the right thing to do. And it was done with a passion that it was exemplary. And we needed to see that more often in a number of areas in terms of the experience of African Americans in this country. And with that, you know, we have some folks here from our Detroit City Council, and you know, and one is Brenda Jones, Councilperson Jones, who has just been wonderful in regards to working with us, and you know, as a mainstay, and you know, but it also is a good example of someone who patronizes this district. As I said before, they're open breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But also, really important was the fact that we had visions, and people argued about the names, whether it be an African town, be it Paradise Valley. We had a number of names, but the concept behind it, no matter what the name was the same. And that was a place that will recognize the history and our contributions to this city and our history to this city. And so, you know, with that, we have some honorees here tonight up on the stage. The only three that I haven't mentioned at this point in time, Councilperson Joanne Watson, former Councilperson Barbara Rose Collins, and Councilperson Kwame Kenyatta. And I'm going to ask Wayman Guillermo to come up and properly honor their contributions to this wonderful development and this wonderful festival that you're going to enjoy this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, George. One thing's for sure, George and I go way back. And I look at George oftentimes as my older brother. We've worked together for years, and you know, we did this kind of thing in college together. And I was just teasing him about the fact that the last event that I was involved with from a promotional standpoint took place in 1977. So that was a long time ago. So needless to say, this event would not have happened without the hard work of all the people that George has mentioned. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of speeches. What I would like to do, though, is ask Sandy Smith to join me, because we have a token of our appreciation for all of that hard work that George talked about. Our Detroit City Council and the three members that we're going to recognize in the next few moments had a vision. They had a vision, and they came to the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation and asked us to implement the vision. And the vision was to create a vibrant business community, an African town, a community where businesses and the entire state of Michigan could all come as a destination point. And with that vision in mind, not to mention the economic support that they gave, we've made it happen. And so we have a small token. We cannot begin to lend to or to give a gift that was symbolic of all that they have done. But we do have something that we could afford, and we'd like to present that to them right now. And we thank you for your, not only your vision, but your persistence and all of the efforts. I want to also announce that this is just the beginning. Although we started this effort back in 2008, this is just the beginning. We have not totally satisfied that vision. In fact, one day we hope that the very lot that we're seated in today, right now, right here, become an ultimate high-rise development, mixed-use development, so we can honor ultimately some of the concepts and the ideas that they have allowed us to implement. Sandy, if you would, let's we would like to offer first to Councilmember Joanne Watson a token of our appreciation and a small gift to honor her hard work and efforts.
I want to thank my brother Wayman Guillermo and George Jackson and Johnny Washington. Thank everybody with DEGC, DGA, all the sponsors here today. I want to thank God, giving God the praise. Only God is worthy to be praised. I want to certainly thank God for the Honorable Barbara Rose Collins, the Honorable, y'all come babies, the Honorable Kwame Kenyatta. We want to recognize the first chair of the African Town Committee was Elder Kwame Atta, who's now in heaven. His wife is here. Queen Mother Efwa Atta, please come, Mama Efwa. We also want to, Millard, Puerto Rico, Brother Wusu, who's here with his wonderful wife, Sister Ivy. Mama Diane Stevens was on that original, but God rest her soul. Benny White, anybody connected with Benny White? That's Mama Efwa Atta, her husband, chaired African Town. Brother Paul Taylor. We want to see this for Paul Taylor. We want to recognize the Downtown Development Authority. Mama Matilda Bland. Matilda Bland, Dr. Robert Bland. I see that godchild out there. Come, godchild, come get the award, Dr. Bland. Mama Dahia Shabaka. Myrtle Bridges. Ayodele Bakari, former member of the Dramatic. Ayodele Bakari is here. Elizabeth Ayana Johnson. Brother Edward Moore, who's on the staff of our brother member Kwame Kenyatta. Brother Edward, he was vice, brother Edward, is he here? He's here, come on, Brother Edward Moore. Police officer, he was vice chair at African Town. Great music promoter, Johnny Washington. Johnny Washington, the McGee sisters. God bless you, darling. Marjorie White. The great George Jackson Jr. Mama Helen Moore, Queen Mother of Education. Brother Mutope Akibulam. Charles Matthews. All the African Now members whose names I have not called, your names are on these. Till y'all come. God bless you. We love you. We honor the ancestors who helped build this African town, Paradise Valley. We honor the children not born yet. We honor everybody who had something to do with this glorious weekend, and we thank God, we thank God, we thank God.
We have a token of appreciation for our brother, the Honorable Kwame Kenyatta.
Oh, Jeff, how's everyone? Oh, come on, Africans. It feels like Africa out here today. It's hot up here, so we're not going to talk long. We sweating. We about to melt up here. I know y'all hot down there, too. You know, I want to thank Brother George, Brother Wayman, their staff, and all who involved, definitely Brother Johnny Washington, who moved it from the river to here. Let's give them all a hand. Folks say, well, it can't be done. It shouldn't be done. Y'all talk too much about that kind of stuff. I'm on my way out, so y'all know I'm about to get, you know, more and better than it was before. We can have every other kind of town. We definitely can have an African town. And it's all right to call it Paradise Valley because that's what Africa was, Paradise Valley. And it ain't about being against anything. It's about being for somebody who haven't been for themselves. It ain't no shame in our game. And so we're happy to be here, and we're happy that you're here. This is the first, the beginning of more to come. I can feel the spirit of my Nana, my Baba, Kwame Atta, a serious African. And we're taught to be about that and to stand tall, not to talk long, but to talk strong. Thank you very much.
I'm going to take your hint. Okay, thank you. Last but not least, former council member, Barbara Rose Collins.
First of all, for not forgetting me, because I've been gone over 2 years. Thank you for including me in this. This is very important. Paradise Valley is very important to the Black community of the city of Detroit. Very, very important. A people without history is a people that did not exist. Now, we named it African Town. HUD in Washington, D.C. said you could have Mexican Town, you could have Greek Town, you could have Chinatown, but you could not have African Town because that was racist. And we said we didn't care what they said. We named it Paradise Valley, which is synonymous with African Town. And we have fought and fought for over 5 years to get this going. I want to thank George Jackson and Wayman Gilbo for keeping the fight going. Let me tell you one thing. Fight to keep African Town, Black people recognized in the city of Detroit, because pretty soon won't be many of us walking down Gratiot Avenue, Woodward Avenue, Jefferson Avenue, because they don't want us here. When Honorable Coleman Alexander Young was elected mayor, they said the last one, turn out the lights. Remember those bumper stickers? Well, guess what? You all, we all kept that light burning. So now corporate America say, hey, we think we coming back and you all got to go. We're not going anywhere. Now this is supposed to be the first annual. That means next year, where are we going to be? Right back here. And the year after, where are we going to be? We're not going anywhere. This is our town. We love it. We built it. We kept the lights burning. And thank you for giving me a present. I always love to give presents. God bless you.
Thank you very much. And because you were not forgotten, we're going to ask you, Barbara Rose Collins, to cut the ribbon. Johnny Washington, would you join us? Johnny, I think it's time we kick this off. What do you say? All right.
All right, thank you, thank you. Listen, it's time to cut the cake, right? I just really, in brief, just want to say it has been my honor to work with the city officials and a great team at Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. They have made a vision come to pass. We have made a vision become annual. We have made a vision to make a statement. And I am so happy that you folks joined us on this opening ceremony to be a part of that. And I just want to say, you know, it's not just me. I've got a great team that's running the beverages and ready to serve the entire weekend. Folks, Detroit Paradise Valley Music Festival will be what the Essence Festival is to New Orleans. Detroit Paradise Valley Music Festival will be to Detroit what the Jazz Festival is to Cincinnati. ABC News Nightline picked up our story and talked about it. The Washington Post picked up our story and talked about it. Over 3 newspapers in New York picked up our story and talked about it. They talked about this evening, they talked about this weekend all over the world. So we recognize it. We're happy you're here. We've got great entertainment set up tonight. We're going to start off with a very special group with the children that will enhance and start the evening off. You're going to enjoy the sounds of Yvette Meadows. We have Ralph Armstrong tonight featuring Kimmy Horn. And then the weekend goes into another gear. We're featuring the great sounds of Ronnie Laws. We have the great R&B singer Howard Hewitt. On Sunday, we have the headliners being Gwen and Charles Scales and the great soulful Phil Perry. So if this is the beginning, just imagine how bright this future is. Thank you so much, and it has been my honor to work with you. Thank you.
A very special guest that I was given credit for today. What's your name?
David Carroll.
David Carroll. And what is it that you've got going on with the event that they gave you credit and acclimates for?
Well, I work with Quicken Loans, and you can see the sign up there, Quicken Loans. And
so you're the fantastic gentleman that not only promised 4,000 jobs and has brought 6,000 jobs to the city of Detroit. And we're very happy to have you here. Like, really excited to have you here.
It's fun to be here. Like I tell people, it's a lot more fun being downtown. My old office, I used to look out my window and I'd see a freeway, a parking lot, and a Costco. Now I see Comerica Park, the river. It's a lot more fun down here.
Yeah.
We've been down here almost 2 years, and we're up to about 5,000 people now, and we'll have about 6,500 by the end of this year.
Fantastic. So tell us some of the favorite things that you love to do when you're in the city.
I love many restaurants. I love the type of places you can't go to in the suburbs. I love Campus Martius. I'm just kind of hanging out, nothing in particular, just kind of walking around, hanging out. Sometimes you get sick of being inside your office, walking around. I love walking. We have several different buildings. It's fun to walk from building to building for different things and run into people on the streets. That's something you don't do when you're driving around the suburbs. Just kind of bumping into people, then striking up conversations, the closeness, the intimacy, that's important. That's a lot of fun.
I know, I do. We get very close in Detroit. We love to talk to each other and meet each other and say hello in the elevator as well as when we walk down the street. I love it. I absolutely love it here. So thank you so much for being here. I'm happy that you guys are doing all this work for the city. So it's great. This is a great event. I love everything you've done with the turnaround in Harmony Park.
That's what we do. And it's about making, improving the quality of life in the city of Detroit. And it's not just brick and mortar. A lot of people think of us from the physical structure, but it's only successful if we bring people down here. Well, I call it feet on the street. Okay. And, that's what makes a city.
Right.
So from that standpoint, that's why we are, do the type of, even beyond projects like this, where most people think of us purely from a development standpoint.
All right, so tell our audience what your name is.
George W. Jackson Jr., President and CEO, Detroit Economic Growth Corporation.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
Take care.
So, Bill Foster here is he's going to tell us a little bit about himself. This gentleman has been part of the city of Detroit for quite a long time. One of the movers and shakers, constantly putting music into the world of the city. So go ahead, Bill.
Well, yes, that's what we try to do every day, is to bring music and art to the community, and this is what I've been doing for about 50 years.
50 years in the city of Detroit? So all of you people tuning in from all over the world, this gentleman right here is one of the people that's been behind the scenes, making everything happen with the musicians, giving an opportunity for the people in this city to actually grow. I mean, the stuff that you do with allowing opportunities for people to grow is fantastic.
Well, yeah, this is our we're celebrating our 22nd year Jazz Network is. And I say the last 22 years we brought in the top entertainment in the jazz world to the city. I say bar none. We had it here. From Milt Jackson, the late Tommy Flanagan, Harold McKinney, Roy Brooks, you name it, and the young kids too. Roy Hargrove, Rodney Whitaker, the young drummer that plays with Wynn Marcellus came through our program when we first started the Serengeti back in 1991. So this is what we try to do in the community, and we're still doing it as we speak. The young kids that are going to be playing today on the stand, like I'm here with them every day, to make sure that they do what they need to do. And I constantly say, practice 3 hours a day, because if you don't practice, you can't become great. So that's what we try to do, encourage them.
Oh, that's fantastic. So how do people locally as well as internationally find you?
Well, Jazz Network Foundation, Inc. On the website is Jazz Network or Serengeti Galleries. They can find me there. Facebook also. So we're out there trying to still promote the music.
Thank you so much, Bill. We appreciate everything you do. I can't wait to see your kids perform.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.